Welcome to the Steve Stine Guitar Podcast, brought to you by GuitarZoom.com. If you want to improve your guitar playing, keep listening. If you want to improve even faster, go to GuitarZoom.com, where you'll find all of Steve's premium courses, masterclasses, and memberships that'll help you quickly and easily improve your playing. Now here's your host, Steve Stine.
Back to something. We could go back here again if we wanted to. So let's start thinking about what we could do to make this sound a little more melodic, a little more real. Okay, so let's add some dynamics and stuff, just kind of looking at some different things we can do with this. Just kind of keep building this out as we go. Now, it's okay for you to explore and not really know what you're doing and just kind of move around and train your ear and all those sorts of things. They're all great. But the more you start really establishing a connection to the notes that are being played in the chords and where they lie on your fretboard, you're going to make less mistakes and you're going to have more ability of landing on the right note at the right time. That doesn't mean that you always have to land, as we've talked about in the other prior live sessions, that doesn't mean you have to land on them at a certain time. And of course, you want to shake up dynamic contrast. I say it all the time. You don't want to play the same rhythms all the time. You don't want to play the same dynamic all the time. You have to be aware of these things. And a great thing to practice, if you've never done this before, is take a piece of paper and write down a bunch of different ideas on that piece of paper and then just set it in front of you when it's time to jam. Use your creative bucket that we've talked about, these buckets before for practice. And you could put things very simply like dynamics. Play loud and soft, high, low, fast, slow. Lower your volume down, slow down, stop playing, right? Play a lick. You could put all kinds of different things on there. And that way, when you look at that piece of paper, you go, oh, okay, so here's some ideas of things. And they all seem silly because it's not like these big musical ideas. But the truth is those things make a huge difference. When you play, and again, you've probably heard me talk about this before, but when you play and you literally stop playing the guitar, that's where the period at the end of a sentence goes. Okay? If you're just playing the entire time forever, the listener never gets a chance to breathe because you're just playing all the time. So it's nice to be able to stop once in a while when you're playing. Let me rewind this again. Another thing I might start doing as I'm playing this is start thinking about maybe playing a couple of strings. Some things that I like to do, I might do stuff like this where I incorporate movements like that where I'm using two different strings. And notice how what I'm doing here is playing these two notes right here like a fifth. But I won't always do that. Sometimes I'll do things where I use larger intervals like this too. So I might go... See? Just depends, but it sounds kind of neat to do that. Or I might start just visualizing two strings at the same time. You see? Instead of just seeing the one string, I might actually try and see both of those strings and then utilize them both to kind of move around the fretboard this way as well. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far and you're getting motivated to take your guitar playing to the next level. Please do me a favor and leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. It'll help the show grow and reach more rock stars like you who want to improve their guitar playing. Also, I'd love to know what parts of the episode you liked, as well as what you learned, so please share this podcast and tag us at GuitarZoom.com on your social post. And now, let's get back to the podcast. So if we take that and we start utilizing our traditional scale sets, and we combine all of these things together, let me switch over here. And I'm just going to jam, bad notes included, just jamming here. That's right. So there it switches to a new thing, which again, I think we got to once a while back, but I don't want to go that far right now. That's just the same idea, but it just keeps building further in. So if that kind of makes sense, we now have the ability of seeing a pentatonic scale, possibly a diatonic scale, and really being able to separate the visualization of those. Because sometimes when you play, it's nice to be able to pull back and go, okay, well, if I want to play in A major, right, even if I just came up here, A major pentatonic, people still have a misconception about pentatonic, like it's a beginner scale or, you know, something where you learn diatonics and it's better. It's not. They're just different. The nice thing about pentatonic is it enables you to play more intervallically because it's missing some notes. But that can be really nice in its sound. You see, you get more of that blues, rock and roll, southern rock kind of thing. We don't want to get rid of that. We still want that sound. Okay? It's just whenever we want, we can drop into that kind of sound as well. So I always think you have pentatonic, you have diatonic, then you've got these triads that you're trying to visualize. And if you want to see something larger than a standard triad, you want to add in your sevenths or something, it's okay too. I'm just saying you have to make some sort of connection to those chords. You can go as far as you want, but make something, okay? And now what we're doing is we're learning how to combine chord tones with non-chord tones and how we can use those non-chord tones to create a bit of tension. And then ultimately on top of that, learn to visualize your fretboard both vertically and horizontally And again, you could write all of these things down on a piece of paper. So anyway, hopefully that helps you a little bit. Nice little discussion to have right before Easter. I'm sorry I couldn't be here live to do this, but I am glad that you took time out to watch it. And you can always watch the other ones if you head over to YouTube or Facebook. Find the playlist and subscribe if you want to. But please do me a favor. Certainly check out the guitar course. Check out melodic soloing and see if it's something that might benefit you. Take care. Stay positive and keep practicing. If you enjoyed today's podcast and want to learn guitar even faster, go to guitarzoom.com and click the Get Started button to get access to courses that are right for your interest and skill level. Again, go to guitarzoom.com and click the Get Started button.